Hey guys, it's Evelyn here, and I'm doing the USS Nationals recap. So this year it was hosted in Dallas, Texas, which is where I'm from. So my parents, my dad and my sister got to come and watch. And weigh-ins were super easy, just kind of flew in, had a scale at my parents' house, shed maybe a little bit, didn't eat so much that day, and weighed in under. That next day, weigh-ins were super easy. They were in the hotel lobby. They had two areas, one for the men, one for the women, and they went by super fast. They were really efficient, so it was really nice to be able to get there a little bit early, get in line, and then just kind of filter your way through, and then get ready to go eat. So one of my questions that got asked in the Instagram was, what was the first thing you ate? First thing you ate after weigh-ins, yeah. So I had an emergency peanut butter jelly in my bag with me for weigh-ins because I brought some of my stuff, some of my straps, just so I could test out the implements. So as soon as I got off the scale and got my clothes back on, I went straight for my bag and grabbed my peanut butter jelly and stuffed it in my face. And of course my hydration packet, which is usually water with LMNT salts and BCAAs, and what else did it have in there? I think that was it this time. And then I had a Gatorlyte, which is like Pedialyte Gatorade apparently. So I kind of took that all down while I was playing with the implements, saying hello to people that I knew in the back, and then me and my cousin headed straight for Sunny Street Cafe, and I had eggs, sausage, fruit, pancakes, and hash browns. so made sure to fill up the rest of the day, get all those carbs back into my system. It wasn't a super bad cut, but I was hangry in the first couple hours. So, had to have breakfast, then second breakfast, then lunch, and then dinners. And we were able to kind of get set up in the back. They had a nice athlete area, super open, probably a little too much space, more space than we needed, not too much space. More space than we needed, and we got to work on warming up for our deadlifts. That was a little difficult just because the way that USS Nationals was set up this year was each lane was its own weight category. And so I was in lane 2 with the middleweight women, so that was the under 148 and under 165 middleweight women, so it was the subclass and the full class. And so you had multiple people going right away. So if you were in the subclass, you were in the front of the pack, so there was a bunch of people trying to go warm up, so it wasn't super efficient, but it was really nice that we had the lever deadlift back there to warm up and get ready. One of the questions was, how did the carabiner go? It went well. I didn't stumble. It was really smooth, but it turned out to be more of a carabiner event than it was a strength event, because you were more focused on going fast than you were on doing the rep. So, I mean, pros and cons, I guess. It was my smoothest run. I didn't have a stumble at the beginning, which during training I've been stumbling my first set forever. So it was really nice to not completely forget what I was doing with my hands or with my feet in the first on the first lift. So clean and press. Came and did exactly what I needed to do. Well, not needed. I came and did exactly what I could do. So I got 7 reps, which is how many I got in training. I feel like maybe I took a couple steps back twice or 3 times that maybe I could have squeezed in an extra rep, but honestly, I got second place in that event. I don't know that being tied for first, because the first place person got 8 reps, would have done too much of a difference. But I came and did exactly what I knew I could do, which is more than you can ask for on game day. Third event was the wagon wheel axle deadlift, and that went pretty great. We hadn't practiced at that weight. We had only practiced 30 pounds under, and I matched my reps at 30 pounds under, so at 300. And I almost got an extra one. Time ran out as I was like finishing up my 15th. Then I got stuck on the bar. I was like having a mini panic moment because I couldn't get my thumb out. It was pretty funny. My butt cramped. It was a whole thing. But I'm really proud of it. Like, for the longest time, I've been zeroing deadlift events and not really been in contention to be even in the top for a deadlift event. And I tied for second on this one. So I'm like really happy, super proud, and like excited that my deadlifts come such a long way in less than 2 years. So, you know, I think about the next one. So the next event was the stone hold, which was frustrating. Not stone hold, coin hold. So it was this really cool Texas shaped coin. So it had like a Texas in the middle, and it was like this big cylinder that you had to like hold out supposedly with straight arms with, and then they let us know that there was going to be a 20-degree bend allowed. Based off of the pictures and the videos that have been posted, more than 20 degrees were allowed, and like, it is what it is. It's such a hard movement to judge when you're staring straight at someone, but I think our lane had one of the more lenient judges, so that was frustrating for me because I've been like really honing in on having the straight arms because I have like the longest arms in the world. I'm pretty much just all arms, all legs, no torso, so clear disadvantage, but that's okay. I did what I could. I did it as I trained, which was as straight as I could. Like, it doesn't change the fact that I did my best. And I got an 18-second PR from training. So like, I really dug deep. 18 seconds is huge. My coach was thinking like I could get a little bit more if I had like just kind of squeezed on a little bit longer, but it wouldn't have made it that much of a difference. A lot of girls held it for a really long time. So that was just kind of like one of those events where it could go your way, couldn't go your way, like a coin toss. Oh my gosh, a coin toss. So, pun intended. Event 5, last event, was the Revis sandbag drag, and it's like this huge sandbag. It kind of looks like the CrossFit worms that teams use. It's 250 pounds. I had initially wanted to pop it up and like hug it against my chest, but when I popped it up to grab it, it kind of slipped into my lap. And I had seen a lot of girls kind of taking a lot of time to like pop it further up and then go, so I didn't want to waste any time, so I just like popped it up, grabbed what I could, and just went. So thank goodness for all that grip strength work that Nate puts me through sometimes. Good old arm wrestling. And I like held on just like fingertips. You can kind of see in the picture, it's just like barely like 6 fingers are just like doing most of the work. It's in my lap. It was the most awkward carry, but I did not bleed points. So because of that, I think that's what kind of kept me in contention for podium. Even with some of the second place events that I had, that was probably the time that I like turned it on. Like, up until then, like, I had an idea of what I wanted to do, what reps I was gonna get, kind of. Like, between the coin hold and the bag drag, those are the 2 things that just kind of were mysterious. You didn't really know how it was going to be because we didn't have the coin for the implement to practice, and then we didn't have the bag to practice. I think one of the questions was, how did you train for the bag drag? So because we didn't have that long bag at the gym, we ended up attaching like the sled with like some length of rope to a sandbag. So I was able to pick the sandbag and go while holding it. One of the things that kind of changed that strategy with the long Revis bag was that you don't get to pop it up. It has so much length, so it like wants to pull you down. So the good thing was I have practiced a lot of like holds and a lot of like forearm grip strength that I was able to just kind of like barely hold on and move with it. It did help that it was on carpet, so it like mimicked the turf that we were training on for like the sled drags. Let's see. What was your favorite event? I think my favorite event was a deadlift. I was really proud of my performance. I was really proud that I didn't give up until the last second. I was trying to move, so that was really cool. Like, I've never been able to put together a good deadlift performance, and we essentially had 2 deadlift events in this nationals, so that was neat. What did you learn? So I learned to be kind of cool, calm, and collected, but I think it was a little too cool, calm, and collected for the first 3. I also learned that it's hard to miss a higher spot by a point and not be like, I hate to say bitter about it, but I was a little salty, a little bitter that I only lost out by a point, and then I wasn't really happy with the way coin was judged. But like after a couple days of just kind of like self-reflection and kind of talking about it with one of my training partners, it's really like kind of let me work through those feelings of disappointment. It wasn't on anyone for me to feel validated in what I did, right? It's the performance I gave is what I had, and it wasn't enough. So I got 3rd place instead of 2nd because I didn't do the work needed to get 2nd place. And so it took a couple days to kind of accept that. Other than that, I think that's what I learned. I learned how to be introspective. I want to be introspective in the moment, like right after whatever happens at an event, instead of kind of like holding on to it for a couple days, because I want to be able to appreciate all the hard work and appreciate all the women that I like competed against, and appreciate like the time and the space and like everything that's happening around me in the moment versus thinking back on it fondly. Like, I want to be present and I want to be happy for what I did. So I really learned on how to kind of swallow a hard pill of, you didn't do enough, but you did what you did and you should be proud of it. So that's something I learned during this nationals. I'm still reflecting on it. I'm still journaling, and I'm still trying to get those feelings through. But I think it's going to be a longer process than just like a week of thinking about it, because you spend so much time in prep, getting ready for this one show. And for me, getting ready for this one show, it wasn't just getting ready for it. I was also dealing with some anxiety and some like self-doubt. I was dealing with like this kind of like big expectation of myself that I felt like I was gonna let everyone down. Like, I felt like changing coaches, going straight into strongman, not doing anything else, putting all this investment into this sport, I was gonna come out dead last. Like, that was my biggest fear coming into nationals. I thought for sure I had made all these changes and I was gonna suck. Like, that's been one of my biggest hurdles that I've been kind of trying to get over throughout this prep since Worlds last year. And to come through and get podium at nationals didn't really help. So I'm still working through, I think, a lot of feelings and like digging out those expectations and making sure that I'm not competing for anyone other than myself. So yeah, we got a little deeper than I thought we would, but overall, like I've come out the other side and I'm happy with where I'm at. Let's see. How would you rate the show overall? Positive and negatives of this show, your personal thoughts. Okay, so how would I rate the show overall? The show, I think, was super efficiently run. Like, I loved the lane ideas, and having like a lane per category. Like, I felt like I got to know some of the girls a little bit more than I would if it was like a regular show, where all the lanes went at the same time and it was like all middleweight women 1 through 8. Like, I think that was one of my favorite parts of the show, was the lane camaraderie that we ended up having. I really liked that it was efficient. Each lane got their own like rest periods, rest times. We weren't waiting on another category to like finish up. So we were able to go through the show in 3 hours, like 3.5 hours, which is perfect. Like, no one wants to sit at a convention center all day. From the spectator standpoint, this is coming from people who were watching me, like not knowing like what reps were the best or what reps needed to be beat for the spectators to like kind of stay in the game and like be engaged with what you're watching. Could have been better, but I think that's just something to like progress towards for next year, like having that like score counter in each lane. I'm sure it'll take an extra volunteer, so who knows, bigger and better next year, hopefully. Pre and post rehab. Okay, so pre was mostly cold plunge and infrared sauna and a lot of ROMWOD, a lot of just kind of like making sure I was working anything that was getting tight. I also have a chiropractor / soft tissue doctor that works on me all the time. So Dr. Lisa was coming in clutch pre and post rehab, just to make sure that I was staying healthy. Post so far, just kind of been moving around, moving blood, like just walking for a while, taking the dog for walks, and started doing just like kind of fun stuff in my deload to chill. So this probably wasn't the hardest show on my body, which is really nice. It only took me 2 days to recover because like my low back was so sore that night. Like, I think the adrenaline just kind of like dumped after we left the hotel, and like I went to go to bed around like 9 p.m. and I'm just laying there like, my body is so tired, my body's so sore, I don't know what to do. And that was probably the worst of it. And then the next day we went for a walk and like moved around all day, and it just really helped. That way when I got on the plane the very next day, I wasn't like super stiff. I was able to like recover and bounce back super fast. So that was nice. Yeah, so, but here's my 3rd place trophy. Pretty cool. I'm really happy I got to take it home and I didn't have to leave it at my parents. So here it is. It's gonna probably go somewhere over here with the rest of my other strongman and powerlifting trophies. So it'd be nice to remind myself of the lessons that we learned here. Yeah, that's it. Let me know if you have any comments or if you want to get in touch and talk about just competitor mindset and kind of if you have the same feelings that I was having. Like, I'd love to chat with you. But other than that, stay tuned. This deload week is not that much of a deload. You'll know soon exactly what I'm doing and why there's tape all over me. So have a great day. Like, subscribe, and I will see you guys later. Bye.